what's up guys, it's Flurry the Warrior. I'm back with another video for you today, and this one is going to be about how to target call in a rated battleground scenario. And there's a few things that you should know while you're in the role of target calling. It's a very important role, so follow these steps and you should see some improvement. Alright, so the first thing you should be aware of here is be aware of your surroundings. It's very important to know what's going on in the field and what's going on in the middle of the match. For instance, if you're too focused on target calling and you're not paying attention to a flag carrier who is running right past you, they could actually sneak a cap on you. And that has happened to me before. So just make sure you're aware of what's going on and know how many healers are on the field and what you need to be targeting. If there are 4 healers midfield, you're definitely going to need to either kill or CC a healer. Do not overextend ever. Unless you know for a fact you're going to get an extremely important kill, because overextending almost assuredly leads to death, so try not to overextend at all. As a side note, Restoration Druids are pretty much always an easy kill. They're just a very weak class in Arena and in rated battlegrounds right now. They're unfortunately not what they used to be, so if you see one and they're in a good position to swap to, definitely swap to a Resto Druid and just drop them. Which transitions right into my next point. Landing a kill on a healer is a really big deal. If you land a kill on a healer at midfield in a battle before they can kill any of your guys, it's crippling and very hard to recover from as a rated battleground clash team. Priority is more about positioning than class. What I mean by that is you're a melee and you're likely going to have a few other melee, or at least a couple other melee on your team. And if you're trying to swap to a target that might be squishier than a target nearby but is really far away and hard to reach for your team, it's better to just go on what's near you and just use a priority system for that. So if they're in a good position to swap to them. And last but certainly not least, you want to try to swap off of defensive cooldowns. So I'll be showing you this in footage in just a moment here, but basically, for instance, if you're on a priest and he pops pain suppression on himself, try to swap to another target nearby until that pain suppression is off, and then swap back onto him. It keeps pressure maintained, and it's a very good move to do, and sticking on someone with defensive cooldowns is just, it's not efficient at all. Alright, we're going to take you into the footage, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so this first clip is from Twin Peaks, and right now I'm just sort of surveying the field and trying to find a good target. I decide on the Disc Priest because he's in a good position to swap to, and he's cloth and a healer, so that's a really good target choice in this situation. He gets gripped in, and I'm going to pause it right here. We notice that he has pain suppression, and chewing through a pain suppression or any sort of defensive cooldown that reduces damage like this in a rated battleground scenario is just really bad for pressure. It'll set you very far behind, and you will very likely not kill someone who has defensive cooldowns like this, being that they're probably going to have at least 2 healers healing them. So we decide to swap off temporarily, and we just swap to the nearest target that seems good, and a Shadow Priest is cloth, so we can put a lot of damage on him. And after just a few moments, I do a little feigned damage on this Death Knight and swap back to the Priest here. We're going to pause it again. This Priest, you'll see in just a moment, is going to die almost immediately. And the reasoning for that is because they've already burned defensive cooldowns on him, and they don't really expect to return to a target that you were tunneling for, a little bit. So they are kind of taken off guard, and he will drop almost immediately. So we're going to unpause it in just a second here. And you can already tell he's taking tons of damage right here. He puts up a bubble, but it's really not enough, and he dies anyway. So that first kill is huge. Right now we just have a huge advantage because of that first kill. And at this point, we just swap to a nearby shaman and put a bunch of damage into him, and they're not going to be able to recover from this clash. We just kill him, and it's like a chain reaction. So the first kill is probably the most important kill in a clash, as long as you can make sure that your team stays alive during it. And that is pretty much what you need to know about that. We're going to move into the next clip in just a moment here. Alright, this clip takes place in Runes of Gilneas, and the key to winning this battleground is winning Waterworks, so it's very much important that the target color does the right thing here. We decide to go onto a Restoration Shaman early on, and they're unable to heal him up because they don't want to commit with cooldowns. And I pause it right here. After we land a kill on the Restoration Shaman, seeing as how they're clumped up right now, there's about 5 or 6 people all on the flag. This is an absolutely perfect opportunity to pop your cooldowns, warriors, and do a Recklessness Bladestorm. But it is important to know that if you're the Tiger Caller, you cannot abandon your duties of calling the targets even though you're Bladestorming. So you need to continue to call targets while you're doing that. So I pop my Bladestorm, and as you can see, I'm just doing tons and tons and tons of damage. And this really sets them back because they have to catch up on healing, and they can't be as offensive as they want to be. We swap to the Ret for a short period, but I see that the Warrior pops his Recklessness, so we swap over to the Warrior and pump as much damage into him as we possibly can. And I'm going to pause it right here. As you can see, this Warrior has gone defensive stance, popped Enrage Regeneration, popped Shield Wall, and was given Pain Suppression. This is a huge commitment to a single player right here. And if our team is to continue to damage this guy, they would almost certainly gain the upper hand in terms of pressure. And it's absolutely critical that in this scenario you swap off to someone nearby and potentially land a kill. That would be huge. And so we notice that the Holy Paladin is sitting right next to the flag, and we swap over to him, and he pushes it too far without bubbling, so I just lock him out on his Holy, and he drops right away. And right after this, we are going to swap back to the Warrior. And as I said before, swapping back to someone whose cooldowns are already burned is a really big deal. But if you have a throwdown or a stun that can keep him in place, that will almost absolutely assure the kill on the target. So we swap back to this Warrior, and I pop a throwdown onto him, and he's pretty much completely screwed here. There's no way that he's going to live. So I'm going to unpause in just a second. I just wanted to go over that throwdown and keeping someone in place in a rated battleground can be a really big deal. And as you can see, he dies in just a couple seconds. And we just swap to the Death Knight here, and they're completely crippled right now. They have burned so many cooldowns. They're down 3 players, and even though we're kind of staying on this target for a little too long, they are just going to have to, they're forced to trickle in, and trickling in is never a good thing in Runes of Gilneas. We make a swap to this Ret Paladin here, we keep him low, and they burn a lot of healing on him, but weren't able to actually kill him. So we just sort of try to stay on him and finally land a killing blow onto him. We kind of overcommitted for that, but we have such high pressure right now that there's just no way that they can actually recover from this. And we go back onto the Shaman, and just pretty much as the target caller, you just have to very rapidly swap and look for weaknesses in the enemy's defenses. And winning the Waterworks battle for Runes of Gilneas is huge and very, very much dependent on the target caller's ability to be aware of the surroundings and know what's going on. Alright, we're going to move on to the next clip. Okay, so this clip takes place in Arathi Basin, and as a target caller, this is sort of a frustrating situation to be in. We're really down DPS, and we're spreading ourselves thin because we're going for a 4 cap, so it's very unlikely that you'll actually be able to land a kill against such an insurmountable force, but it is important to sort of last as long as you can and cause as much pressure as you can with the small amount of DPS that you do have. So right here we're trying to kill this priest, and they just have too much healing. Even with Recklessness, we're really not able to bring him down at all. At this point he goes too far, and I decide to swap back to the Shaman, who is right on the flag trying to do a ninja cap. And we stop him from doing that and just put a little bit of damage into him. And I'm going to pause in just a second here. Guys, it's really important to listen to your teammates, especially if they're reliable teammates, if they spot something and call it out. I actually second-guessed my teammate right here. He said that we should swap to the Feral Druid, who is using the Stag Helm staff, which is a dead giveaway that he has some PvE gear. And I said that it probably wouldn't be a good idea to swap to a feral, but I listened to him anyway, and we swapped to him. And we are actually able to land a kill in just a moment here. And basically that completely destroys any chance they have at causing any sort of pressure, and they are definitely not going to be able to take this node from us after killing one of their main DPS. And we're able to just hold out. So here we're just kind of doing as much damage as we can going to the mage, and because that kill was landed, we're even able to kill the mage as well. So they end up losing because of that, and they really don't have a chance to recover at all. And it's very important to listen to your teammates, guys. It's definitely not a single player game, it's multiplayer, and you need to rely on your teammates and listen to the things that they have to say with discretion. If somebody calls out something that's obviously just not a good idea, don't do it. But if they're reliable, listen to what they say and go for it, and you might find out that it was a good decision. Alright guys, that concludes my Rated Battleground target calling tutorial. I will probably make an arena equivalent sometime in the future, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Try not to be too intimidated if you're given the role of target caller. It's not all that difficult. It seems more difficult than it actually is, and you know, the more you play, the more you'll get used to it, and the better you will get. That's the best advice I can give for that. And you know, not everything here will tell you exactly what you need to do. A lot of it just comes with practice and experience, but this will certainly help, and it'll put you on the right path. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, please plus Skillet. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, put them in the comment box below, and I'll respond as soon as I can. And I will hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.